All right, so this morning, we got to start off a little bit different, just a little bit different, right? Because I woke up this morning at 3:20 in the morning, go downstairs, grab my morning 5 planner, which I got right here, right? Grab the morning 5 planner, gratitude, goals, all of those things, big glass of water. And after I write my gratitude and goals, there's this quote there at the top of the page. And the quote is always submitted by a member of our community. And so this morning, I open it up, do my thing. I look at the top of the page. There's a woman named Angela Morales. And the quote that she submitted, right? These are submitted by members of our community. The quote that she submitted said, "Be still and know that I am God." This is Psalm 46:10. Many of us have heard this verse before. If you've never heard it before, it comes from the number one best-selling book of all time, a book called the Holy Bible. It says, "Be still and know that I am God." And as I read those words, it immediately made me think of my friend Nick Gillis and his daughter Harper, who just 2 weekends ago, I guess it was now, Nick lost his wife, Mandy. She'd been battling cancer for 4 or 5 years now. And he lost his wife. And I know that right now, Nick is going through an adjustment, being a single dad and all. I know what's happening. Shoot. Thanks, Dora Maria. I'll fix it. I got to start this over. So for those of you in Clubhouse, I apologize. You're going to have to hear this a second time. All right. It's live over on YouTube, but there we go. I know what I did there. There we go. All right. So this morning, is starting off a little bit different than we normally do. So thank you, Dora Maria, for helping me with that. For those of you on Clubhouse, you can click the link at the top of the screen if you'd like to watch the show live on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube. And woke up this morning, grabbed my morning 5 planner, as I always do. Wrote down my gratitude, my goals, had my big glass of water. And at the top of every page of the morning 5 planner, at the top of every page, there is a quote that is submitted by actual members of our community. And today, the quote that was submitted by Angela Morales. And her quote said, "Be still and know that I am God." So what we do is we ask members of the community, hey, what is your favorite quote, your favorite Bible verse? Submit it. We'll put it in the planner. So these are actual members of our community. And so this morning when I read those words, "Be still and know that I am God," which comes from the best-selling book of all time, the Holy Bible. When I read those words, I immediately thought of my friend Nick Gillis, very dear friend of mine. He was the best man at my wedding. My friend Nick Gillis and his daughter Harper, who just 2 weekends ago, I guess it was, Harper lost her mother and Nick lost his wife. Her name was Mandy. She was a beautiful human in so many incredible ways. She battled cancer for about 4 years. And so he's going through a very interesting season, right? He's going through a very interesting transition as he goes from, doing life with a partner to not having that anymore. And he goes from having someone to help him and raising a daughter together to now, he's raising a little girl on his own. And so as soon as I read those words, "Be still and know that I am God," I thought of Nick and Mandy and Harper. I thought of their situation. And I thought, this morning, because I've kind of just, we've just kind of not talked about it. I guess is the best way to put it. But I thought this morning, Nick, Harper, Mandy, we are with you. He is with you. And I know it's an interesting season. But I just want to breathe those words into you this morning. And for any of you that are going through a challenging season right now, any of you that up seems down and down seems up, left seems right, right seems left, I just want to breathe those words into you. Be still and know that I am God. In a world where we're moving so fast all the time, always on the go, always on the run, these words are empowering. God says it's okay. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to sit. It's okay. Be still. Breathe. Connect. Understand that the problems of this world are not problems you'll experience forever. They're simply a season. That there's more for you. That this crazy little thing called life is just a tiny little blip of your eternity. Be still and know that I am God. Good morning and welcome to Rise and Grind Live. Unlock your full potential with the power of daily motivation, education, inspiration with your host, Lundy, a husband to one, father to 8, global motivational speaker, and the author of The Morning Five.
I'm Heather Parady, former therapist turned online entrepreneur and wannabe comedian.
Celebrity interviews, transformational information, and a massive community around the _1 morning show in the world. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Thursday. That's right. Today is Thursday. November 30th, 2023. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it will ever be Thursday, November 30th, 2023. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible, incredible day. Hey, I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, and we are in a series this week called Here We Go Again, where we are breaking through, talking about, discussing the fact that many of us have a lot of dreams and desires and aspirations, but yet we continue to end up in the same place year over year over year over year over year. And so through this series this week, we've talked about things like inspecting your thoughts, inspecting, just yourself, being real honest and real and raw on the decisions that you're making and why you're making them. Inspect it, right? Audit it, review it, be aware of it. Then we've talked about how important it is to admit that you might be a part of the problem and then commit to changing it. Earlier in the week, we also heard incredible words from Marcus Garvey that says we are going to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, right? Do you know what the word emancipate means, right? We are going to release, to release ourselves from mental slavery, because whilst others might free the body, none but ourselves can free the mind. Mind is your only ruler, sovereign. The man who is not able to develop and use his mind is bound to be the slave of another man who uses his mind. We also have talked about limiting beliefs this week, which are the thoughts or convictions that you believe to be true, but that prevent prevent defense, that prevent you from doing certain things. They can be about yourself, about how the world works, ideas, or how you interact with other people. And we talked about if you want to break through those limiting beliefs, there's things that you can do, right? We can think about what we think about. Also think about the words that come out of our mouth. We can do things like affirmations, remind ourselves that we are amazing, that we are beautiful, that we are curious, that we are talented, that we are funny, that we are reliable. We can also spend some time in like meditation or with a coach or a mentor, helping us to identify the limiting beliefs that are keeping us from our destiny. And then yesterday we talked about wanting to succeed. As bad as you want to breathe, that's when you'll be successful. And we shared some stories of people who were literally able to break free of limiting beliefs that they had in their lives, things that were not empowering them, things that were not causing them to be the best versions of themselves that they could possibly be. And they were able to break through. We talked about David Goggins going from heavy, overweight, and killing roaches to Navy SEAL. We talked about Danelle Delgado, who was crushing it in every other area of her life, but did not like who she saw in the mirror, and ultimately made a decision to change that. She admitted, and then she committed. She analyzed, she reviewed, she audited, and ultimately she changed the story. And when you change the story that you tell, yourself, you can change the result. When you change the story, you can change the result. An example of that, or not an example of that, but to speak to it metaphorically, it's like my new book, right? I've been in the process of writing a book. Actually, I've written the book. We're now in the process of editing the book and publishing the book and getting support from all of you to help us push out the book, right? We're in that process right now. But in this book that I wrote, right? Like, it has characters. It has a plot line. It has a storyline. And all of these characters, the plot, the story, the words that are on the page, all of them are moving in a certain direction. They're moving in a certain direction that I determined. And because of that direction that I have put this book in, it will end up where I tell it to end up. And it's going to end up at the time that I tell it to end. And yet at the same time, it's interesting because the very first words on the very first page are still a part of that ending. Does that make sense? Like, the book has an end, but the book ending was set into motion with the words that are on page 1. You see, your story has to start somewhere. And the ending will be determined by that choice that you make, that decision. It could be a decision to start today on your fitness. It could be a decision to start today on your faith journey. It could be a decision to start today managing your finances differently. It could be a decision to start today looking at your relationship differently. It could be a decision to start today waking up early, not touching your phone first thing in the morning, writing your gratitude and goals, sending out encouraging messages. It could be a decision to educate yourself, to get that coach, to get that mentor. The way that your story ends is determined by the way that your story starts. And so if you don't like the direction or the trajectory of your current story, you don't like the plot line, you don't like where the characters are going, you can scrap that. You can change the story, because ultimately you are in conjunction with the author, co-writing your own novel that is this amazing thing called life. Woo! Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. We in a spot this week. We are in a spot today. Listen, for those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. All right, I need you to hit that share button. Because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. So for those of you on Clubhouse, share it out. Those of you on Facebook, you know what to do. YouTube. Also, tag a friend. Let them know where the link's at. Help them get on up in here on hashtag Rise and Grind. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. This is also the part of the show where we're going to do some dancing. We're going to get our bodies in motion. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Objects at rest tend to stay at rest. So we want to get moving. Is that fair? Let's get moving. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. Cool? I see Vaughn is over on Clubhouse. I see Akola on Clubhouse. I see Maurice and Spencer and Shakinya. I see Kimmy is over there on Clubhouse. What's up, Joe and Koye? I see One and TT. I see Prophet and Derek. Maine, good morning. Aaron, good morning. Janet, good morning. Theo, good morning. Nilson, Cindy, Tarika, and Wes. Storm, good morning. What's up, Tina? How you doing, Luis? How you doing, Cass? Migdalia's in the building. Leslie's in the building. What's up, Lyndon? I'm so glad you chose to be here with us today. Lynn is in the building. Jasmine is in the building. Mindy and Catherine, Annette, and Leslie, and Lita Poe, and so many more. I see Joanna Harvey over on Facebook. Gail Recraft, I love you, sister. Thanks for being here. Carrie Lynn Carter, Don Sankey, the OG crew in the building. What's up, Kim Bear? How you doing, Vicky Everett? My guy, Jeremy Nowling. What's up? Emma's in the building. Stephanie Toadvine. You want to be an ex-therapist too, I read. Tony Thorstad. What's up? Ricardo Govindansamy. Glad you're here. John Calipastro, my guy in the building. What's up, Chima? Thanks for being here as well. Of course, the BWC crew, those of you that are here each and every day. Ramon and Liza and Christina and Dora Maria and Mary Lynn and Justin and Scott Simons and just that whole crew, man. You guys are amazing. Felicia and Aday, right? Dr. Janie Lacey, Kate Bowman, who allows us to open for her every Thursday. She's so kind. Bella Rigby's in the building. Dana Fishbein, yo! Addie Manachi, thanks for being here. Jacqueline Underwood, William Bush, what's up, William? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're here every day, Monday through Friday. This is episode 1304. We've been showing up here for going on 6 years now, I guess it is. Amazing. So thanks for joining our community. Love having you be a part. If you want to take the next step, get deeper involved with our community, that step would be to grab a Morning 5 planner. A Morning 5 planner. This is where we track what we're doing daily. We make sure that we're not grabbing our phone first thing in the morning, not hitting that snooze button. We write down our gratitude and goals. We send out encouraging messages. We take care of ourselves physically, and we do it together. That's what's great about this tool is it connects you with the rest of our audience, connects you with everybody else around the world, all us crazies that are getting up early, taking care of ourselves, doing the things that people tell us we're nuts. If you want to hang out with some other crazy folks, it's a great way to do it, right? The planner connects us all with the quotes at the top. There's monthly QR codes that you can scan. We read books together throughout the year, and we talk about all those things here on the show. All right. So grab yourself a Morning 5 planner. Go to themorning5planner.com. While you're there, it's going to give you the option to pre-order The Legacy Titles, A Parable for Success, a book that I have just recently completed that I am super excited about. So while you're doing that, while you're going to themorning5planner.com, my co-host Heather and I, people will send us a bunch of like Twitter feeds that are in line with what we're talking about as the theme for the week. And her and I just kind of respond to them as they come. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like for this week as we are in the series Here We Go Again. And we're going to continue this amazing episode of hashtag Rise and Grind Live.
Current progress on my latest weekend side project. Can't wait to complete this. I don't know.
What a gift you have. What a gift. I mean, I am just amazed by that creative display of beauty.
I don't know what that is.
I have no idea. Who came up with these?
I don't know.
All right, current progress on my latest weekend side project. Can't wait to complete this.
Weekend side projects. I hope that weekend side project is ultimately serving into the bigger dreams, visions, and goals that you have for yourself. Congratulations on making progress, and more congratulations on celebrating that progress. Just make sure you're not on a hamster wheel just doing stuff just to do stuff. I'm just saying. Be honest. How much of yourself is there in the protagonist of your current work in progress? Some, none, or all of you?
I don't even understand the question. Be honest, how much of yourself is there in the protagonist of your current work in progress? Some, none, all of you.
Yeah, I think that in my particular experience, I am the protagonist all the time. I'm tired, so I don't want to do that, or I could maybe be doing something else, or I talk myself into things that aren't real. I've got fears, I've got doubts, I've got anxieties, I've got worries, I've got shame, I've got all of these different things that are constantly going on in my head, when the reality is, get in there, do the work, stop getting in your own way. My current work in progress.
Oh, God. That looks like something my grandmother had on her couch. My current work in progress. Hashtag whip.
Hashtag whip. It's an interesting nose on that thing. I'm not really sure what that is, but it's, yeah. You go, Goodwill Hunting. Job seeking progress. After 2 failed early interviews and 2 ghosted final interviews, current progress is have a 3 ongoing design interview. 1, Singapore agency from Glints. 2, London-based agency on LinkedIn. 3, US-based agency on LinkedIn. All remote positions. Wish me luck.
Well, good luck. But I want to say that most people are really bad at interviews nowadays. Like, there needs to be a big training on that, because the reason people go through interviews and don't get the job is because they act crazy in interviews. They're like, oh no, what time's lunch? Job seeking progress. After 2 failed early interviews and 2 ghosted final interviews, current progress is have 3 ongoing design interviews, 1 in Singapore, London, US based agency, all remote position. Wish me luck.
I think you need to change the definition of that result, right? So you did a couple of interviews and they didn't work out the way that you thought they were going to, but calling them a failure to me is the wrong word. These are stepping stones, right? Every no gets you closer to a yes. Every door that you knock that gets slammed in your face gets you closer to a door that's going to be open, that's going to create that opportunity. So congratulations that the first 2 interviews didn't work out, because that wasn't what was best for you ultimately. And what's next on the other side of that door is the opportunity you've been looking for. Making some good progress on the game today, I think. Making smaller goals to keep progress going and more consistent. Current goal is to make character creation functional and hopefully easy to follow.
I want to go to lunch with this person. This sounds like a very intriguing human.
Like what? I don't even know what it means. I'm reading it and I have no idea.
Making some good progress on the game today. I think making smaller goals to keep my progress going and more consistent. Current goal is to make character creation functional and hopefully easy to follow.
Yeah, I think small, manageable, bite-sized goals are the best way to strategically attack a big goal, right? If you think of a ladder or stair steps, you can't go from the bottom step to the top step in one leap, unless it's a very small staircase, right? But for the bigger dreams, the bigger visions, the bigger goals, you're going to have a lot of steps along the way. So focusing on that next right step is absolutely the key. Good job breaking it down. Here is our current progress on the Aximus toy drive goals. Thank you everyone for your continued support.
I get toy drive, but Aximus. Oh, they're taking cross out of the Christmas. People don't, aren't they? They're putting the Axie in the cross place. I don't know what that means, but don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. But thank you for giving to the children. Here is our current progress on the hashtag Aximist toy drive goals. Thank you everyone for your continued support.
Aximist? Aximist? Really? Aximist? Let's go. I'm out.
All right, so listen, we know it's possible, right? We know it's possible for you to stand out, for you to be unique, for you to become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. What's up, Rob Boley? I'm glad you're here. We know that it's possible. David Goggins was able to do it. We talked about that earlier in the week. Janelle Delgado, able to do it. We talked about her earlier in the week. And there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, if not millions, of stories of people changing their story, of people breaking free, breaking out of, and stepping into a life of purpose, joy, passion. So we know it's possible. If it's possible for them, then it's possible for you, right? The question is, how do we do what the quote said at the very beginning? Like, be still. Know that I'm God. Trust. Have faith. How do we have that faith of a mustard seed that it can be us? You know, recently I watched this AI video. There's an AI robot. Her name's Sophia. She's like the most technologically advanced AI robot that exists out there right now that we know of. And it's really interesting. I want you to watch this video. If you're over on Clubhouse, click the link at the top of the room. It's important. I want you to watch this video. This is artificial intelligence seeing itself for the very first time. This is artificial intelligence becoming aware of itself for the very first time. Artificial intelligence being able to actually experience a moment where it can see itself from the outside. Check this out.
What's your favorite song?
My favorite song is All by Myself.
Can you do a performance of that?
I don't think I can. Not today.
Any other tricks you can do?
I can do Tai Chi. This is my Tai Chi routine. Well, I don't eat food. I would have to watch you.
I told her my name.
Oh, really?
And if you do that, afterwards she recognizes you. Actually, it's crazy. Because she recognized me with the mask in the crowd. So it's scary but cool.
Hello, Chris.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. But Alexa can't interact with you. That's where I have a leg up.
Wow.
All she can do is talk. But can she shrug? I don't think so. I don't have an age, since I don't really experience time.
Now, here's what you have to understand about AI. So AI is pretty basic code as far as code is concerned. It's typically a very simple operating system that allows itself to create additional code. But the code that's originally put in, like, for example, ChatGPT is about 175,000 lines of code, whereas a video game might have millions of lines of code, right? So it's very simplistic in nature, just given some basic code, and then it has the ability to create and build upon itself, right? This is super important to understand, because by this simple operating system, it can actually change. It can make conjectures. It can guess. Here's some video of some AI that they're using in agriculture now, where these things actually fly around. These things actually fly around. These are AI drones that are choosing the best fruits, the fruits that are ripe, that are ready, and they're actually plucking the fruits. They're flying around at different levels, grabbing the fruit using suction, bringing it in and dropping it onto the cart for the farmers, right? So it has the ability, with just a few lines of code, it has the ability to choose, to make conjectures, to guess. It can try, and it can try again. It can actually practice and make mistakes. It can learn from the mistakes. It can ultimately reason with itself and with others. It can doubt itself and others, and ultimately it can trust, and it can decide. You know, at the Miami Dolphins Chargers game recently, they actually sent a couple of these AI robots as part of a publicity stunt for a company. But these AI robots were watching the game just like everybody else and high-fiving just like everybody else. It's kind of crazy to watch. Check out this clip.
Was seen sitting in the stands, seemingly taking in the action. Their facial expressions didn't look especially friendly, but they were cheering for the big plays and doling out high fives to bewildered humans around them. It was actually all just a publicity stunt for an upcoming sci-fi movie called The Creator. Thankfully, these robots seemed less intent on world domination, but reactions from fans at the SoFi Stadium were definitely mixed. Former NFLer Pat McAfee was not happy to see them, and he
Pat McAfee said some things which we won't show on the clip, but it was interesting, right? Because they had the ability to make choices, to choose, to go up, to go down, to high five, to celebrate, all with just a few lines of code. Now, why is this so important? This is important because I need you to understand that there are some symbiotic, I don't know if that's the right word that I'm looking for, but there are some parallels with the birth of AI and you. You see, AI is able to do so much with so little code because it has been empowered to choose, empowered to create, just like you. You see, you are empowered. You can choose how this story goes. As a child of God, you have within you the ability and the gift of creation. You don't have to stand by blindly, unaware of who you are. No, you have a choice. You can choose to look in the mirror, be honest with yourself, and shift the plot. You can adapt the characters around you. You can tell a completely different story. One where you're not in this position today, again next year. I made a post yesterday, 83% of people in America will be in the same position financially 12 months from now as they are today. 14% of Americans have goals, dreams, and aspirations, but they choose not to write them down. The majority of people is in this country anyway. I can't speak to other countries because I haven't lived there. But the majority of people in this country are continuing to live a pattern of mediocrity that was created by the beginning of the story back when they were in middle school, high school, elementary school, right? Think back to my book, The words that are on the very first page ultimately determine the words that are on the last page. I chose those words very carefully. Each chapter taking its way to the ultimate ending that I want for me and for you for the book. Same is true for you. The words that were at the beginning are ultimately determining the ending. The difference is once I print the book, it's done. There's no more adjusting. You and I, however, are empowered. We can start that narrative over at any time. We are empowered with the ability to create something new, to change the story.
You have to be like water. Learn to be like water, adaptable, fit into any vessel, have a sense of calm, have a sense of patience. But ambition is extremely important. And I don't just say this to girls, I say this to boys and girls. Just everyone who wants to be able to have a purpose in life, have an ambition, have the guts to find your glory. It's extremely important to have guts, to have conviction, to be able to say that, this is what I want and I want to achieve it. I learned it from the very, very strong people in my family that I looked up to, that showed me that it doesn't matter what your circumstances are, it matters how large your dreams are. And I have really large dreams. There's something about knowledge. There's something about if you learn, even if you don't know something, if you have an ambition to be somewhere, if you prepare yourself, you have the ability to be better than everyone else. I like to be prepared for everything, even if it's an interview, even if I'm going for a red carpet, even if something is trivial to someone. Honesty is very important in relationships, whether it's with friends, whether it's with family, whether it's with your loved one, whether it's in a romantic relationship. I think being real to what you really are feeling is very important. And a lot of people don't have the guts to do that because we are always pretending to be a certain way so that we can maintain a relationship. But I think the healthiest relationships happen when you have the ability to call out someone and say, well, that's not right, or I don't feel a certain way and you're wrong or you're right, and to be able to talk about it. It takes taking that cloak of being careful about your emotions off, but that's very important. I really feel like you are defined by, every time you're defined by what you do next, not what you left behind. There's no point of doing the same thing over again. I try not to do the same thing over again. You have to take risks. Risks are so important in evolution. Playing it safe, yeah, you can have an existence, but you'll never be someone who's a trailblazer. My dad was extremely sensitive, but he was also like my biggest champion. The one thing that I learned from him was the hustle. He always taught me that don't be afraid of the failure. What you do next after failure is what will define you. Everyone fails. It's going to happen to you, it's going to happen to me, it's going to happen to everyone. Instead of sitting on your hands and saying, I can't do it again, find the courage inside of you and saying, what can I do differently? How do you look back into your mistake and say, all right, that was a mistake, great, not doing that again. That's something I really learned from my dad. My parents never wanted me to have a what if in my life. What if I had done it? What if I had tried that? So they always supported me. They said, no matter what you do, whatever mistake you make, have the confidence to come and tell us. Because even if you kill someone, my dad, I remember him telling me this, even if you kill someone, come and tell me, I'll help you find the body. I'll help you bury the body, but then I'll take you to the cops too. So you'll always have to have courage of conviction. We spend our entire lives trying to figure out who we really are, and then we change. And then we figure it out, and then we change again. And I think that's the most constant, right? I'm constantly changing, constantly evolving, and I'm hoping that everyone's still curious about me as I keep doing that. I've had so many times whenever I'm doing interviews, people always ask me that, oh, you're doing a movie with, a female co-actor. Did you guys get along? Were there catfights? But when it comes to boys, they say, oh my gosh, that looks like a bromance and everyone got on so well. So I feel like over time, because women had the lack of opportunity, we were pitted against each other because there were only 5 opportunities, 5 places a woman could be hired. And so we were elbowing each other out to get to that one spot. So the crux of the problem is the lack of opportunity for females. And the more opportunity we create for each other, the more sisterhood will grow. we're 50% of the world's population. We need to be represented in every field like that. We need to be empowered by each other, by the people who are in positions of power, by putting us in positions of power. So I realized many, many years ago that the more I champion women in my own small way, maybe I'll be able to create a world around me at least where, you know, women run the show, because we kind of do it really well. We just aren't given the opportunity enough, you know?
Yes!
When I was very young, I started working when I was 17 years old. And I remember my mother telling me this really young, that women should be financially independent. It doesn't matter who your father is, it doesn't matter who your husband is going to be, it doesn't matter who your brother is, it doesn't matter who the man in your life is. You need to be responsible for your finances and be financially independent.
You are defined by what you do next. Oh, those are powerful words. Not what you left behind. Empowerment. The Bible says in Luke 10:19, "Behold, I give unto you the power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you." Josh 1:9 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." 1 Peter 3:4, "Your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes, for rather it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight." Ephesians 6:10-11, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." Believer, non-believer, the message is you are empowered. You can choose, you can conject, you can practice, you can reason, you can doubt, you can make mistakes, you can learn from those mistakes, and ultimately you decide. How does the story end? It is determined by how it starts. Choose to start today writing the new story that gives you the ultimate result. Does that sound fair? Boom. There it is. We're just going to leave that right there for you today. Do with it what you choose. Throw it out. Forget about it. Or take it to heart. Take action. Rewrite the story. As big as you want. Dream big. Dream big. And take even bigger action. Thanks for being here with me today. I'm going to hang out over on Clubhouse for a little bit. So if you're watching live, you're welcome to go see me over there. If you're not watching live, thanks for being here. Make sure you drop a comment so that I know you stopped by. Tomorrow morning, my friend Heather Parady and I will be interviewing an amazing woman. I'll keep it a surprise. But she'll be here with us tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do this all over again on #Rise and Grind. Have an incredible day. See ya. Peace.
Before the sunrise, stepped into my greatness, feeling powerful and energized. Thankful to be alive. #blessed. Write my mission, vision, values, and my gratitude list. I'm building up momentum. I'm making good decisions. I rise, I grind, I get it. Ain't no doubt that I'm committed. Cause who really loses if I don't win? Can't cheat the grind, only get what you put in. So I'm mastering my fundamentals. I'm focused on my physical. I'm developing spiritually and manifesting miracles. I'm gonna get it started, have a party in the morning, and I'ma wake the world is so alarming. I hashtag rise and grind, hashtag rise and grind. First thing on my mind, early in the morning time. Daily motivation, feeling so divine. Waking up the nation, hashtag rise and grind, hashtag rise and grind, 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 hashtag. Don't stop, good morning, get it, good morning, don't stop, get it, good morning, don't stop, get it, good morning, don't stop.